When pain is accepted, truth begins to speak. Most people spend their lives trying to escape pain, to silence it, hide it, outrun it. We tell ourselves that strength means resisting, that healing means never feeling hurt again. And so we keep fighting what we feel. But here's the truth. Acceptance is not surrender. It is not weakness. It is not giving up on life. Sometimes, acceptance is the first honest moment a person has with themselves. The moment they stop pretending, stop running, stop exhausting themselves trying to become untouched by pain. Because pain does not disappear simply because we deny it. It waits quietly beneath the surface, inside sleepless nights, inside forced smiles, inside the exhaustion we cannot explain. And often, the more we resist pain, the louder it becomes. But something strange begins to happen when we finally stop fighting ourselves. The pain changes its voice. Not immediately, not magically, but slowly. What once screamed for escape begins to soften into understanding. The wound is still there, yet it no longer controls every part of your life, because you are no longer at war with it. And this is where everything begins to change. Pain, when accepted sincerely, stops becoming a tyrant. It becomes a teacher, a quiet one. It reveals where we abandoned ourselves, what we feared losing, what we spent years chasing without asking whether it truly belonged to us. There are moments in life when certain desires must fall away. Not because desire itself is wrong, but because some desires are born from comparison, from fear, from loneliness, from the desperate need to feel worthy. And when those desires collapse, what follows can feel frightening. An emptiness, a silence, a sense that something inside you has disappeared. But perhaps that emptiness is not destruction. Perhaps it is space. Space for something more honest to emerge. Because before renewal, there is often stillness. Before clarity, there is confusion. And before becoming someone new, there is usually a painful period where the old version of yourself begins to dissolve. And this is the emotional truth many people misunderstand. Healing is not becoming a perfect version of yourself. Healing is learning how to stop rejecting yourself, to sit quietly with your sadness without shame, to acknowledge your wounds without turning them into your identity, to understand that pain does not make you broken, it makes you human. And once pain is no longer treated like an enemy, something unexpected happens. The heart softens. Self-condemnation loosens its grip. The need to constantly prove yourself begins to fade. And happiness changes too. It is no longer a grand reward waiting somewhere in the future. It becomes something simpler. The ability to breathe deeply again, to wake up without fighting yourself, to experience one peaceful moment without fear immediately interrupting it. Quiet things, ordinary things, yet after suffering, they feel sacred. And maybe this is what freedom truly looks like. Not a life without pain, not endless positivity, but the ability to remain present with yourself without needing to escape constantly, to live honestly, gently, without carrying endless resistance inside the soul. Because when acceptance becomes sincere, the old self slowly begins to fall away. Not through force, not through destruction, but through understanding. And what remains afterward is often quieter than before, less performative, less fearful, more humble, more real. So if you are carrying pain right now, perhaps you do not need to defeat it immediately. Perhaps you only need to stop running from it long enough to hear what it has been trying to say. Because sometimes, when pain is finally accepted, truth begins to speak softly from beneath it. And that truth, however difficult at first, may become the beginning of peace.